Okay, everyone. That was a good start now. Lilli almost dying. Welcome to another episode on my beautiful pink sofa. We have another episode of K-pop PJ Talks.
Yeah.
Is it K-pop PJ Talks or Nolae?
I don't remember.
It's PJ Talks.
Whatever it is.
Simply PJ Talks.
It's our show and not yours.
Yeah, because we felt the urge to talk about a certain thing happening in K-pop right now, which is Fashion Week! Women's Fashion Week in Milan and Paris. It's crazy because there's a lot of K-pop idols going this time. It was always oh my god, this person's going, and now it's like so many people going, I cannot even keep up, and I feel like it's the fashion industry finally catching up.
We literally had to write a list. You can't see this here, but this is like over 20 people, I think.
Just so that you know what day we have today. Today is
Thursday.
Today, for example, Mingi attended Off-White. Almost lost it at the office. Our boss literally came out of his office and asked if everything is okay, because I was I was like, oh my god! In like about an hour, I think, we will see Seonghwa at Isabelle Marant, and he will walk.
Oh my god.
He will walk?
Yes. You didn't know?
I didn't know.
No, he's making his walking debut. No, because it was so crazy. Yeah. Because it's insane. He's walking a women's show. Yeah. The first post he made about Isabelle Marant, he was like, walking in Paris. And I was like, I saw the caption and I was like, what do you mean walking in Paris?
You were calling that out and I was like, is that really?
Yeah, and then my friend, she texted me. She was like, Nora, he's gonna walk the show. And I was like, no way. And then he had another Instagram post, I think today or yesterday, and it said debut in Paris or something like that. And everyone was like, wait, he already had his Fashion Week debut, and the other shows, like, why would he say debut? And then we had the confirmation that he's gonna walk the show. We haven't had many K-pop idols walk the shows, right? We had Gino.
No. Yeah.
We had Felix for Louis Vuitton.
Last year.
Hyungwon from Monsta X has walked a few shows.
And Shonu as well.
Shonu, right.
Shonu has walked in Milan last week or something.
True. Like for Isabelle Marant, for example, Seonghwa. Now that we talked about Seonghwa, let's talk a bit more about Seonghwa because it's actually crazy. Yeah. He is the official face of the campaign for the spring, right? Yeah. Together with Kate Moss.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's like such a huge thing to have someone from a K-pop, like 80s, someone from 80s, be the face of the campaign. Yeah. Together with someone as famous and important to the fashion industry as Kate Moss. And then a women's collection in addition to that. Now he's walking the show. The biggest fashion magazines are going to talk about it. Vogue, Elle, everyone in the fashion industry is going to go to that show of Isabelle Marant and it's going to be like, oh, there's a man walking the show. And then they're going to be like, who is this guy? And then they're going to be like, oh, it's Seonghwa from 80s. Who is this guy? And then, he obviously looks crazy and his face is just unreal. The exposure of this whole thing, it's gonna have a huge impact.
I feel like it's the general craziness of it, because sometimes you see those videos where they're coming out of the cars, and then obviously because fans know, and I feel like so many people don't know how much of a big deal they are, and all those fans are waiting, and you see those bodyguards and other Europeans basically, and they're like, what is going on?
Who is this person?
We had that with Mingyu, or with Hyunjin from Versace. Those people are just coming out of those cars, and everybody's like, wow.
I think it's a huge win-win situation in those cases, because I think these fashion houses, they just really understood that this is the best PR that they can get. Yeah. They obviously understand how much of a huge deal these people are in their respective fandoms, and that people will pay a lot of attention on that, and they will trend it on Twitter and on all the other sites, and that's obviously really, really great for them. And on the other hand, of course, most idols, I guess, would be very honored to get this sort of exposure.
What makes me the happiest is when I see an idol who has been known for wearing a certain brand a lot then get invited to the show. For example, Mingi, he has been wearing Off-White for how long? A long time.
Long ass time.
And now he got invited and he looked so good.
She lost it today, guys. Like,
smoky eye.
No, the smoky eye took me out. I couldn't do it anymore. What we also talked about earlier at the office, how like so many of the K-pop idols who get invited, they fit the aesthetic of the brand that they are collabing with so well. For example, Mingyu for Dior. It makes so much sense. He's like such an elegant... Dior just makes so much sense. Because it's like nothing too experimental whatsoever.
Not too fancy. It's very like down to earth. Like, you know what
classy,
Dior is about.
Elegant. Yeah. But then you have Hongjoon, who went for Vivienne Westwood, for example.
Yeah, I mean,
that made so much sense to me. It's like the perfect brand for him. It's like he could walk the show, in my opinion, you know. I think it's marketing done so well. What I would do to work behind those scenes and be part of that team, like wow.
As well as like, you know, Woo Young turning up yesterday.
Yeah.
Like he gagged us. Like that was nuts because they're
it
like
was gag-worthy, yeah.
You know, they're like teasing and you have
which brand was it again?
Courage. It's a French brand and it's like super... It's actually like really nice how their tailoring is done and everything. So it's like really clean but with a twist, which I love. And then he was kind of like teasing. We knew he was gonna come and they have like this sheer collection or whatever. We were all like, okay, yeah, you know, maybe some like cutouts or whatever. And he came like with the biker jacket and naked.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then Natty from Kiss of Life.
Yeah, I also love that they paired them together. Same thing with Yeji from ITZY. They paired her with Sun. They set her next to Sun, which is also like such a good thing to do because obviously, you know, then they have someone they can connect with. Same with Mr. Bangchan at Fendi with Mina. That was like such a smart pairing because like obviously then those two people are gonna get photographed together and then they're gonna have an interaction and then fandoms, like different fandoms will come together and be like, oh my god, look, our two faves, they interacted together. There's like so many details and if you look at it like from a PR and marketing perspective, you don't have to do anything. It's just
they're basically leaving it up to the fans.
Exactly,
to
like
do their marketing for them.
Exactly.
Of course, Western celebrities are huge as well. Yeah. Like for different reasons, but I feel like the fandom culture is just not as strong for most of them. You know, I mean, I guess we all know how intense K-pop fandoms can be.
I don't know what you mean.
We don't really have like super strong fandoms in the West anymore, I feel like. I mean, like the era of Directioners and Beliebers and whatever kind of, you know, slowed down. This is kind of the equivalent to that.
Yeah, true.
And those brands, they know and they understand and they're like, okay. Yeah. Those are the people that we need. Obviously, also because they're very fitting and like great faces for their shows, obviously. But I think that's a big reason as to why they tend to choose more K-pop idols nowadays. Or
then
like
and then you obviously also have like the whole Western media there. You know, you have like then those like really fun like interactions and crossovers. You know, there was like a BL actor sitting right next to Mingi and I was like, I was losing it. Because those are like crossovers you don't expect, like at all. Yeah. You know, which little mix today as well.
Jade with Mingi.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, they took a picture together. And also what I loved, Emilia Clarke with Seungmin.
Yes.
Oh, my heart. I was so happy. It was so crazy.
Seungmin
Yeah, Seungmin. He was at this, what's the brand called?
Shomi.
It's a jewelry, what?
Shomi,
right? So he was invited for them. And then there's this one super cute video behind the scenes. And then Emilia Clarke, she's like super sweet, right? Yeah. And then she greets him super kindly. And she's like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And he's like, hi. And then he gave her his hand. And he was like, I'm Seungmin from Stray Kids. And I was like, oh, my Shayla!
For him as well, because I feel like it was his first, like, really, like, I'm alone now and doing this thing and I'm invited. Because I feel like for Hyunjin it was like the second time. You know, Bangchan as well. Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know. And also, Seungmin looked so good yesterday. I lost my mind. I was like, he had this like white suit on and then the jewelry obviously and his like short haircut.
People who follow us will know this. I am more of a boy group person. But then I see all the girlies getting invited as well. And I'm like, oh my god. But I got so excited when I saw Yeji. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my god, she's also there. Sugi from Red Velvet also. Yeah. Who did it right up?
So we had like women. Let's talk about the women for a second. We had Momo and Mina.
Right. Momo and Mina, right.
We had Karina for Prada.
Of course.
That was amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
I love this pairing.
And I mean, usually Jaehyun is there as well, but he's military.
Right.
But-
Jaehyun is a Prada boy.
Yeah, Jaehyun is a Prada boy, but 2 of the boys of N Team were there as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Byungwa Sok.
Well.
Whoops. Yuki was also
Right. Who
idol.
was she here? Do you know?
Fendi. She was with Bangtan.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, but they then weren't
I
seated
see
together,
them.
maybe.
They were like, I think they were on the same bench actually, because I saw a photo where he was like, hi, like,
Oh, I didn't see that.
Nati. I mean,
Nati.
we need to talk about her as well, because she came on a
That
freaking
entrance?
motorcycle.
Did you see that?
Yes. No.
No, like her entrance
What?
was the most iconic, okay? Because she
Came on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
to
she
the
was
show.
on the backseat of the motorcycle. Those, like, you know, like how celebrities normally look shit on Getty images. She looks so
Like,
incredibly
literally,
good.
she came in like this, like on the.
And then she took off the
Yeah.
helmet and she was like,
Wow. She even wore a
immediately-
helmet? How does she still
Yeah.
look like
and
that?
look at her, she like, while she's fixing her hair, she is serving face.
Insane.
And
Yeah,
is
it was
immediately
crazy.
locked in, immediately serving for the
Yeah,
I
pictures
don't know,
and
I'm
everything.
obsessed with her shoulder. Do you know what I mean?
She
Her
came
shoulders
like,
look
this,
so good
like
from
with
that.
the helmet
Like,
and
wow.
everything. I think
It's
Woo Young
solid.
came a little bit earlier, and he literally did like a Bollywood run in front of the whole thing,
Yeah.
and it's like naked, and we were like, okay.
Ran back to 18s, I think, to sign or like.
Yeah.
Oh, he signed
Say-
stuff?
Yeah, Mingy as well.
Damn.
There's this one video of Mingy currently going viral of him picking up a photo card from the floor that fell, and then he signed it, and then he gave it a kiss, and then he gave it back to the 18e.
That should be me.
Looks very
Yeah,
cute.
Hoshi for Diesel.
Oh!
No, I cannot even talk about it. But
But the switch up from like Hoshi being an ambassador for Diesel and now for Kellogg's. It's like a 180, you know?
I thought it was an edit, like the Kellogg's one.
But it was
I didn't
real.
think
No,
it
I
was
loved it
real.
so much. I loved it.
To bring it like full circle to our conversation earlier, then also like because Jin, he kind of like started on Milan, like with Gucci. Gucci is like always one of the first ones that like start the whole thing. Also,
Damn.
Jin and Gucci just makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't know.
no. Oh my god, do you remember? That was like my baby army time back then. When we still would dream of K-pop idols going to fashion weeks or like collabing with big brands, okay? The only one I think who did stuff like that back then was G-Dragon.
Yeah.
And then a few selected K-pop idols. I remember back then,
Yeah.
armies would make edits of Taehyung with Gucci, because he was wearing Gucci all the time, right?
Yeah.
He had like the famous like bag with the snake
Yeah.
and those slippers and stuff, and people would take pictures of him wearing those fits at the airport
yeah.
and then edit it as if it's like some Gucci campaign picture.
Love
I
it.
remember that so well, and now it's like reality, you know. That was like what 6-7 years ago,
Yeah.
and now we have full on the entire K-pop industry flying from Korea to
Yeah.
Paris and Milan to go to Fashion Week,
Yeah.
and that's like such a huge step if you
It's a
look
huge
at that.
step. Also, like for example, Nati,
Yeah.
she's not from like a big
Yeah.
company or group.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Kiss of Life really did that. Like
Yeah.
they're super
Yeah.
popular by now, but still, it's crazy that it's not just the most famous
Yeah.
groups at the moment. You
Mm.
know
Yeah.
that they branch out.
Also, not saying that
Do the
like
research.
80s is not huge, but also they're like not huge.
They're
you
not the
know?
number one. You know,
Yeah.
like you would think they would only pick. You know.
Yeah, because
BTS and
usually,
Blackpink.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
usually it goes
Yeah.
like that.
I would have expected that the brands that pick out K-pop idols are small brands. And in my brain, I'm like, Versace already is so big. They would not
Yeah.
need even more promotion by inviting some K-pop idol. They realize that the impact is that huge, and they
Yeah.
really love working together with that's called branch of the industry. It makes me so incredibly proud to see my faves at those shows.
It also makes me kind of remember, I mean, it was, when was it? A little bit time ago, but like when, because J-Hope is an ambassador for Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And he basically made a song called LV
Yeah.
with like Pharrell Williams and
Yeah.
Don Toliver. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so cool.
What we also talked about, the marketing before, like in order for you to get invited to Fashion Week or be the ambassador of some brand, there has to be some work done beforehand. We talked about how like so many groups have done that so well. For example, we had the example of BTS, that all of them, ever since, especially they've started doing their solo stuff, they have such distinguished like colors and aesthetics and styles that it's so easy for them to be able to target a certain type of brand. Makes so much sense. For example, that J-Hope works with LV, or that Jin works with Gucci, and that
Bottega Veneta.
But, you know, it's like those brands that have the same type of aesthetics. If all of the members in a group have the same style, don't have like a separate type of like aesthetic, they could all together work with one brand because they all have the same aesthetic, right? Now, if you are able to do the PR and marketing right and have every single member have a certain type of color, then you say, okay, this member, this brand wants to work with them, with especially this member because he fits their brand so well. And then you have 5 members, and 5 members work for 5 different brands, and then you have marketing through 5 different brands, 5 different fashion week shows. That makes like that has like such a huge impact because everyone obviously gonna talk about it.
And also people are crazy and buy this stuff. People can afford that, and then they buy it and they have fun with it. And but also, you know, Stray Kids is doing as a whole the Tommy Hilfiger thing. We particularly talked about BTS and having like such distinguished and such polished styles. Now it's the question, we have to choose like a look that we really like, I think. For the end of this.
Okay, this is difficult. This is really difficult.
My favorite one is, I don't know, I just have like a soft spot for Prada currently. I feel like they're doing like, and obviously is he a K-pop writer? No, he's not, but Byung-Woo-seok I think is my favorite one. And then I actually also really like Mingi's look today and Woo-young.
And Mingi looked really cool.
Mingi looked so good. It was such a Mingi fit.
Yeah.
For him to wear.
And I'm a little bit scared about Seonghwa because I know that's gonna be like he's gonna be breathtakingly stunning tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna say Yeji, but especially not the one. I'm gonna say the one she wore for Roger Vivier. This one, because it's so elegant. I love the skirt situation. And I love the jewelry and I love the hair and love the like she looks so like wow.
Stunning.
She looks so pretty.
She looks amazing.
So I'm gonna say Yeji. Yeah, no, I'm in love with Yeji's style.
Yeah.
I love her fit. So it's gonna be Yeji for me.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to the person who decided to put sun in glasses.
ATEEZ is stepping it up, people. I'm like so excited for them as well. Like what's to come for them?
So
Jongho, Yeosang, like when are they gonna just think about it?
Okay, wait.
Put that thought in your head.
I'm thinking.
Put in the comments what you think.
Where, like, what brands?
Yeah, what they
I can imagine, like, it's, like, super basic. I think Jongho for, like, something like Armani. Like, in a suit, like, men's collection. Something like that. Because he's known for, like, more, like, conservative and more, like, put-together stuff. Imagine Jongho in a, like, well-fitted Armani suit.
Yeah.
Yeosang in some brand that has, like, more, like, futuristic, flowy... Dune type of stuff, you know, like the movie Dune, like some experimental brand, because he has this unreal face.
That's true.
So I think it would be a waste of face to put him in some brand that makes like more like casual clothing. I would put him in some like super extravagant haute
also
couture type of
more
stuff.
Like androgynous, you know, kind of like
exactly.
Seonghwa.
That's where I think he would fit in very well.
They
Fashion Week. Damn.
Yeah, we're like not even done yet. Like what? They announced Felix as well.
For Louis Vuitton,
yeah, like I think there's a lot coming.
There's still so much gonna happen. Oh, I love this. Wowie. Stuff like this makes me so happy. So this was today's episode of PJ K-pop Talks. Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments, if you liked it, if you have like what your opinion is on these topics. And
what your favorite fashion week look was.
Make sure to subscribe and like and turn on the notification bell. Bye-bye!
아래 뭐 말리는 아가씨